Hi folks, and welcome to episode 5 of Art and Mental Health, and I'm going to start this episode with a comment from Deanie Firebird, who writes, I've had lifelong anxiety from early childhood and been agoraphobic since my teens. It's been a struggle. Mental health problems can be very isolating. I only took up watercolour 3 years ago at the age of 56 purely for therapeutic reasons after losing my dad. It's still my therapy, but painting has now gone far beyond that and become my biggest passion. I just wish I'd discovered it 20 or 30 years ago. I think a lot of people are the same. I remember the Ron Ranson I learned from, and he didn't even start painting until he was 50. I think he worked in a factory or something. I can't even remember what he did, but he retired and then became this great artist, painting loads DVDs and all this sort of stuff. But anyway, Deanie continues, like the lady you mentioned in a previous video, I did feel that my stress level started to increase after a while in relation to painting, and I think that was caused by social media pressure. At that point I completely stopped trying to paint from the follow along style tutorials and started doing my own landscapes from my imagination or using local photos as a reference. Now the stress has dropped again because I've stopped copying, so I don't need to compare my work with anyone else's, and I do seem to be developing my own style. Social media, it's got its benefits, but it's also it's terrible with in some aspects. I mean, it's peer pressure and the way people do tend to compare themselves, and I see all these big stars, especially with reality TV now, and I follow them on social media, and I think that everyone's like that, and I feel as if everyone's missing out. People are living these fantastic lifestyles, but it's all a fantasy. It's not actually real. You're looking at the top 1% of the top 1%. People with mega bucks who can afford all these fancy makeups and all the clothes and the cars and the fancy holidays and the houses and all the rest of it. That's not real life. So don't compare yourself to what you see on social media. It's nothing. It's not like what you think. So Deanie continues, I don't show off my paintings much, nor do I sell them. I'm really not that good. Well, don't put yourself down too much. But from a mental health perspective, playing with watercolours helped enormously, and I'm learning loads from watching artists such as yourself who talk us through techniques in an unpressured way. I think that's what I'll try and do in my videos, definitely. As stress-free as you possibly can, no fuss, don't worry about making mistakes, just go with the flow. Keep up the good work, best wishes and happy, healthy 2004. Nadine. Many thanks for your comments, Nadine. Now, Nadine had a reply to those comments. Again, apologies if I'm mispronouncing your name. Kimarlewski, who I mentioned in the previous video. Now they write, Charles Evans did that for me a few years back. He said, just bash the paint on, and really got me to relax and enjoy painting again. I don't know you, but I'm proud of you for being able to get out of your house. I'm still working on that a bit at a time. Thanks for sharing publicly. You gave me some hope and courage. Many thanks for your comments. Nadine herself then replies, that's very kind. I wish you well with your painting, and with regard to the mental health struggles, we just have to take it slowly, always. Very, very, very true. So thanks for your comments, Nadine. I do wish you all the very, very best. Sue writes, I appreciate the artists who share on YouTube. COVID has taken its toll on life. Indeed it has. It did seem to have died down a little bit, but it has risen in recent times. So hopefully, but it's not going to go back to the sort of levels it was before. Fingers crossed, but we'll have to wait and see. Continuing, Bramall Sheraton writes, I tend to find that when a poor painting is produced, it's the release of the darkness of the depression being released. I'd like to think that you don't suffer with too many poor paintings, and hopefully you're you can find success and happiness with your painting, and push on through the depression. Do let me know how you get on. I do wish you all the very, very best. I'll conclude this episode with another comment from Kim Melduski. Do let me know in the comments if I'm pronouncing it right, please do. Saying thanks for this again. The comments make me realise I'm not completely crazy and alone. We've had yet another school shooting. I'm assuming I'm assuming you're in America. To be honest, there's that many school shootings now. I see the headline. I don't even look at the details because it's such a commonplace event. It's such a shame. I flee to your voice and painting when I just can't take any more. You have such an easiness to your style and personality. It's very kind of you to say so. We don't know each other, but you're one of my rocks in the landslide of the current state of the world, just as comforting as Bob Ross. That's very, very kind of you to say. Thank you very much. Again, much appreciated. And if anyone's got any comments or queries or would like to respond to anything I've said in this video, please do let me know in the comments and I'll read your comments out in future videos. So until then, thanks for watching and I'll see you again soon.